when you're in the state of dvekut, the state of complete unification with the light of the Creator, then everything you experience in the moment is only good. And that's really, why we're here.
Hello, hello, and welcome to Spiritually Hungry. We are so excited to do this episode live with all of you, the beginning of our year. Tonight, we have a very exciting guest who's going to join us. His name is Jeffrey Randall Allen. Yes, he has 3 first names, and he is the winner of Mr. Beast's Beast Games. Who knows of the show? Woo! On the surface, you might know him as the man who outlasted over 1,000 competitors to win the largest prize in YouTube history. He won $10 million. But what's most powerful about Jeffrey's story isn't just the victory. It's the deeper journey behind it. His faith, his resilience, his devotion to his son, who lives with a creatine transporter deficiency that has shaped not only how he competed, but how he's using the platform now. This isn't just about winning a game. It's about transformation, purpose, and what happens when life invites you to step into something greater than yourself. I had a deep conversation with Jeffrey a little while ago, and I cried 3 or 4 times in the conversation. Let's welcome to the stage, Jeffrey. All right, I'm very excited. There's so many questions we have for you, and I feel like the conversation is just going to be organic and takes us where it does. But tell us about what your life was like before and how you even got drawn to this show and to compete in it.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll be honest, when I watched it, it doesn't get old watching that. It just brings back, it was about a year ago when it actually happened. So it just brings back these memories. But before the show, I was just a dad, still am. I have 2 amazing boys and a beautiful wife. And my youngest son has a rare disease. So he's a rare disease, special needs. And I coached baseball. I would take him on walks. And I was just your normal, everyday dad. But it's really, if you really want to peel back on how I got introduced to the show, it's a crazy story.
I love crazy stories.
Okay.
The crazier, the better.
Well, it's good. So when my teacher is David Dua. He's out here. I got to give him a shout out.
David.
Oh.
And for years, I would talk about my son, Lucas, who has the rare disease often. And he'd always stop me. And he goes, it's not just Lucas. It's Jack. It's Jack and Lucas. It's their story. And it just always sat with me. So in April of 2024, I got laid off. I was leading a sales team. And I had a weird calm about it. I remember going to the CEO, thanking him for the opportunity. And then in May, I see an application for Beast Games, Mr. Beast Games. And I'm like, oh, Jack loves Mr. Beast. So I'm like, I can be the cool dad to Jack. But Lucas has a rare disease that nobody's ever heard of. There's only 400 people in the world with this condition. So if I can go on, I can be cool dad for Jack, but I can hopefully go far enough to tell Lucas's story. And that was my ultimate aim.
Can you tell us a little about what Lucas has and how that looks for him day to day?
Yeah, he was born with a condition called creatine transporter deficiency. It's just a rare genetic disorder where our bodies naturally make creatine. I've seen some strong people in here. People probably take creatine too. But his brain and muscles doesn't have the transporter to take it in. And creatine is one of the primary energy sources for your brain. So for him, he needs help with a lot of activities of daily living, cognitively delayed, developmentally delayed, has a lot of trouble communicating. Those are the challenges, but he's amazing. He's the happiest, sweetest boy, always in the moment. And the crazy thing about Lucas, so you want to get crazy again? Okay. So Lucas, the name Lucas means bringer of light. And the day or within a day or two of getting diagnosed,
How old was he?
he was a little over 2. So this was 2019, right before Rosh Hashanah. And I called my friend Miriam, and I asked her, I said, hey, I need to learn how to pray again. And she introduced me to the center. And Lucas's name means bringer of light. Because Lucas's diagnosis, it made me reach out to Miriam. Miriam introduced me to the center, and my life has changed in the last 6 years, hands down.
So Lucas clearly brought you to this.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, Lucas and the creator brought me to the center. And when I look at Lucas, I mean, obviously he suffers with this condition, but I can see he's part of a bigger story. Like when he looks me in the eyes, I know that he is like, hey, I'm okay deep down. Like my soul's okay. I hope you and Mom learn your lesson and kind of take my story out to the masses.
So interesting. I can relate to what you're saying. I had that experience with my father when he was at the later stages of his cognitive decline. He had dementia, and he wasn't really speaking in a language that anybody could understand. It was a made-up language he had. And I remember thinking, I don't know what's real and what's not. He's definitely somewhere else, and maybe that's a different place. Maybe it's a better place. But teaching that what we think we know is nothing, really. They show us a whole different reality. I see that with our son Josh as well. You know, he's profoundly wise, like really, really wise. And he says things that are just, you know, yeah, absolutely. He's here to teach us as well.
And every night I'm like so fortunate to get reminded. I brush his teeth, and he's 4 inches away from me. And no one's ever made eye contact with me like he does. And our souls are staring at each other. And again, that's it. Every night he looks at me and goes, I'm good, Dad. Like without saying words, he goes, I'm good. And that just gives me a ton of peace. And hopefully he's able to come with me one of these years.
Amazing. So the process, so you see the ad, you say, I'm going to go into this. And then what happens?
Yeah, so I apply, and I've never done one of these shows, and it's Mr. Beast. Most people don't have gray hair. It's mostly people in their 20s or 30s.
Just to be clear, because most of it is physical.
Is it mostly physical?
We didn't know. This was the first. So for those who know Mr. Beast, he's the number one YouTuber in the world, has 435 million subscribers. He's 27 years old. He's a billionaire and just an outrageous creator. So he wanted to create the largest competition show ever. Largest cash prize, most contestants. It was $100 million budget. So he partnered with Amazon Prime. And so like I had no clue what to expect. I didn't know anybody walking into it. So when I got into it and I got accepted, that's when I told my wife.
Well, why did you get accepted? How does that process work? If it's not, what's the criteria?
So yeah, you have to fill out an application. You have to record a video and tell us what you would do with $1 million and why you want to be on Beast Games.
So the prize at first was $1 million.
That's what they told you. They told you in the application, but the prize at first was $5 million. It was $5 million for 5 weeks of me being in the competition until the last 9 hours.
Wow.
And they flipped a coin. It was.
Oh, so tell us a little bit about that.
So
as you're competing, how many people are now in the competition?
So it started with 1,000. You know, and
it's funny, just as a complete aside, you know, Rav Ashlag says that 1 in 1,000 people who begin the spiritual journey complete it.
How do you
I guess it's the same with Mr. Beast.
How do you even organize that kind of competition for 1,000 people for that amount of money? I can't even. It's a big idea.
Very carefully. I mean, it was. Well, I think it was a good thing that they partnered with Amazon Prime. So like Amazon has done bigger shows, but it was a zoo, like to coordinate bathroom breaks and lunches and try to film. It took forever.
Where was it filmed? Where was the competition?
It was mostly in Toronto, and then we were in Panama for a few days.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta show that.
Panama. So you start with 1,000, and tell us a little bit about that process.
Yeah. So you ask, is it physical? When he first announced the games, again, none of us had any clue what it was, but we've made friends already in the hotel. And I was fortunate to meet some great people from the get, but we're strategizing and hypothesizing what it would be. We were never right. But he gets up on the microphone.
You literally have no idea what it's going to be.
No idea.
Does it work where at the beginning, are you just dependent on yourself, or is it smart to create people that can help you as a strategy until you need to rely on yourself.
Yeah. I realized early
Like the
on
Hunger
that
Games.
The games are 100% social. It's like, who can you count on? Who can count on you? And then Mr. Beast, Jimmy said, these games are going to be the most intense psychological, emotional, mental games of your life. And they were. Like, he deliberately puts you in unique situations to really kind of see what your true colors are.
Wait, tell us, psychologically, mentally, emotionally, what were the 3 hardest in each area? One in each.
I mean, psychologically, so like I got stuck. We had to choose 2 people on our team. So there was 2 people who I was friends with. And we get put in this like 8x8 cube. We're handcuffed to each other. And only 2 of us can leave. One of us has to go home. And we have to decide who goes home.
How do you do that?
Some people played a fair game. Some people played a skill game. And in my cube, one person said, "Hey, I'm not going to play a game," because she knew that me and my other friend were good friends. So she forced us to play a game between us to see which one of us went on. So it's like it's just these mental, psychological, and again in there you have no phone, no computer, you have no clue what day it is, what time of day.
So what was the game? How did you get out of the cube?
So for that one, because she chose not to, me and him just flipped the coin. So we flipped a coin. I called tails. It was heads. He gave me a hug, and then he had to cup himself to the wall, and we had to walk out. So we moved on, and that was the most, like, because we were in there for like 6 hours. It was like, and it's sterile white, like you feel like you're in a sane asylum. But yeah, there was ones where we had to pull a monster truck. So like 8 of us had to pull a monster truck,
like literally
off our backs. Yeah, like that was the most physically demanding. But it's a lot of teamwork, a lot of
Okay, what was the emotional?
Emotional is like eventually you have to like say goodbye to your friends, and you have to like choose. You just make different choices, and you know that people are gonna get impacted by it. So I mean, in these environments, you just form fast friends. Like I'm sure with your retreats and stuff, like people get so close. And like one of the ways I equate it is like I've done musical theater, and like you just get to know people so well telling a story. So within a week, you have like great friends, and then they're gone, and then you have to keep going. It's just a bizarre environment to be in.
So what was the most difficult decision you had to make?
Yeah, it's there's times where I kind of open my mouth to kind of stand up for something I thought was right, but I knew it put a target on my back. But I did it, and I think those were the times where like I knew it'd be smarter for me just to, hey, close your mouth. It's all right. Just get over it. But standing up for kind of what I thought was right, and having an adult discussion, it kind of got heated a couple times. But then, like, we make amends. It was a really weird, a really interesting dynamic of human nature and human relationships. And I met some amazing, amazing people. Like, I did not think Beast Games would give me hope for humanity, but it really did.
So let me ask you, how were you raised? Like, in what kind of, were you raised in believing in things, spiritual home, religious home? And it sounds like when you found Kabbalah, it resonated very deeply with you very quickly. So I'm just curious about your journey and then how you used some of the teachings to help you in this experience.
Yeah, I grew up Catholic. So I have kind of a big Irish Catholic family. I got 4 older sisters. I grew up in Ohio and went to 12 years of Catholic schooling. And then afterward, I kind of was just always interested. I, read Autobiography of Yogi and studied Paramahansa Yogananda, and just nothing ever like stuck. And then when Lucas via Miriam introduced me to the center, and I just started studying the Torah, and I think it like really hit me when the story of Joseph. I'm like, oh, like, then I, reading the commentary about Rabbi Akiva's teacher, like, this is also for the best. And I kind of go, this is it. So I was able to kind of look back at my life and kind of go, because this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, here I am. Like, for example, Miriam, who introduced me to the center, her and I kind of had a falling out. It was my fault, clearly.
Before she introduced you.
But I didn't have a good relationship with alcohol, so I got sober. And through that, I made amends with her. So when I really am honest with myself is because of my unique relationship with alcohol, I found the center. You know, so it's like I have to think those moments, or I don't know if I would be here right now.
Amazing. So now you progress onward. Let's see, the last 10. How long does it take, by the way, the time from 1,000 to 10?
Yeah, it took 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
And in that time, you're not communicating with your family, or
no, you have zero communication, and we film at night, so we don't even know what. Like, we usually start filming at 10 p.m. and
Why?
it films so they can control the lighting.
That's horrible.
Oh no, it was there was no clocks anywhere. We didn't know what time it was, but
also they kind of mess with your equilibrium. Like,
and
you don't know what's day, what's night, I think that's to do that so you don't win the money.
They deliberately do it, but there's one thing that they told you, because this was their first season. They're like, here's what you can and can't do. They said you can bring religious books. So I'm like, yes. So I brought Days of Power. I brought Dialing God. I brought, obviously, the Kabbalistic Bible, Secrets of the Bible. Like, I had...
The Zohar.
Yeah, I, of course, had the Zohar. And it was great. I gave... Like, if you watch the show closely, like, you can see me on my knees scanning the Pinhas.
That's great.
There's one time where I had to choose how much money I could take, and I took $7,272 for 72. So I definitely gave the center some shout-outs. But for me, like, it's just a good reminder for me is I didn't have anything else aside from, like, what we shared yesterday, to connect, have the consciousness, and take action. Like, for me, I had this amazing opportunity to pray. Like, I was saying prayers and dialing God that I've never said, nor did I really know exactly what they meant, but I know that they're tools that work. And so for me, I was saying the Shema. I was doing Tikkun HaFanesh. Like, if you look at the behind the scenes on the videos, like, someone has them. Amazon has them. You can see me, like, drawing the Hebrew letters, and then like, and even so go to the last episode. The last episode, I had to have a blindfold on while someone else kind of placed the grand prize in a briefcase. And it was during Elul. I was tracing the month of Elul's Hebrew letters underneath, and, like, it just gave me so much calm. It was doing all the connections with the right consciousness. And my consciousness was the desire to receive for the sake of sharing. I wanted to tell Lucas's story. And then once I got close enough, like, to the end, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can win this thing. And then I can really try to invest into research and try to find a cure. So it was like, I got to this place where I felt like I was in the zone, and I know that God was guiding me. So
it was a physical boot camp, but it was also a spiritual one.
It was, if anybody, I recommend anybody to sign up for it. It was a ton of fun. But yeah, it gave me just tremendous opportunity for me to connect. And, like, I don't live near a center, and, like, thinking back, it just makes me go, gosh, I wish and I know I don't need a center to connect, but how lucky most of you guys are that you can go to a center and do these connections every day. And, kind of sharing this consciousness, because that's kind of what I was doing on my own.
Well, I think it's so profound. You say that, but the truth is, the thing we lose the most in life is appreciation, right? And so for all of us, and I remember before I was a student and I was volunteering and I was immersed, but I was not married, and it wasn't my complete life purpose. It was definitely my calling, but I was going to school, I was working out of school, I was trying to make ends meet. The appreciation I had, it was like my lifeline, right? I was so thirsty for it because I couldn't be in it all the time. Then when we got married and it became my whole world, I realized I had to fight for appreciation all the time, because when you're far from it, even if it's just a physical level, you crave it more, you call it more, you realize and you recognize you need it more. So you say that, but I really do believe that the strength probably is also in that, because you don't live near a center, you're fighting for it more than people maybe who have that ability to go every morning and be like, yeah, this is what I do at 7 a.m. I go pray with the group, right? Versus, wow, I can come once a month or once a year to be with the group. It's you wait your whole year for that experience.
Like, usually you're right. Yeah, no,
I tell him to say that.
No, but I
told her, yes, we had this conversation before.
I get it, and I think that makes a ton of sense. Like, and just even for me, like, I just remember, one thing that helped me is I have this beginner's Kabbalah mind. Like, I wasn't raised Jewish. I wasn't raised at the center. And so a lot of the stuff I'm learning on my own and obviously with my teacher. And so I kind of felt like I know these tools work, but just let me do them and maybe I'll understand them eventually more and more. And that's my goal. But I think the beginner's mind for me allowed me to really try to figure it out while I was doing it. And 100% during Beast Games, I was just connecting. I was praying to connect. And it felt so real. And just even like looking back at my friendships, I realized, gosh, I was in this kind of beautiful flow state. It was great.
Maybe I heard actually there's a few times where you actually use Kabbalistic numbers or tools to go on.
6 or something. I wanted to ask you about that too. Tell us your formula.
Yeah, no. So it was near the end. And once I got down to the top 20, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a chance I can win this thing. And at the time, it was $5 million. And then I get to the top 10. And then they get to like a weird number. It was the top 6. I get handed the key number 6. So then I go into bunk number 6. And at the time, this was the month of Elul, the 6th month. And what am I doing during Elul? Shuvah. It was great. And so for some reason, I was walking around this giant bunk I was in saying, Zair Anpin, Hesevura Tefret Netzach Hod Yasod. And I was just, the number 6 kept popping up. So the day of the finale was the 6th day of Elul. So it was the 6th day of the 6th month. So the number 6 was staring at me. We get down to the final 2 people. And again, it's now a prize of $10 million. And there's 10 briefcases on a table like this. And before we started, I was like 40 feet up. And we didn't even know what the game was. But we saw the briefcases and we saw they were numbered.
This last final game.
The last final game. And I looked down and in my head, I go, it's 6. Before we even knew the rules,
Wow.
before anything. So we go down, we flip a coin to see who goes first, to put the check.
Why are you 40 feet up?
Because there's like a big
What's
platform.
happening?
I gotta
You
get
gotta watch the game.
Yeah, you got to watch the show. And part of me is like, I would love to have some Kabbalistic commentary on the games. Like, oh, this is interesting. They're doing this.
What's happening?
Yeah, it'd actually be a good reaction video for YouTube for season 2. I'll join you. It'll be fun.
You want to do it?
We should let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, we'll do it together.
You'd get a lot of eyes.
All right.
You sign us up.
Yeah. So the reason we're 40 feet away is where the games were. There's a platform where most of the games were, and this one was like just 40 feet down. So we had to walk down the stairs to get it. But once I saw the briefcases, I just knew it was 6. We flip a coin. I get to go first, meaning she takes the check, puts it in a briefcase. And I put the blindfold on. And again, I'm tracing the month of Elul's letters. And when I took it off, I knew it was 6. And they kind of told us, like, hey, like, even if you think you know where it's at, like, ask some questions. Like, this is still a TV show. And lo and behold, I opened up the first briefcase I chose, and it was in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And at that, yes.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So at that point, you realize you won $10 million.
Yeah. It's when you watch the video, like I opened it up, I didn't even look at it. Because I had this weird sense of certainty. It was certainty beyond logic. I mean, it was the most certain I've ever been. And the light shines and I see the light, and then I hear Mr. Beast like give out a scream, and I just took off. I took off running, and if anybody's seen it, I run up this pyramid of $5 million and kind of accidentally slide down like the Joker. But then I didn't know my oldest son and my wife were still there. And so they surprised me by coming out. Yeah. They didn't know it was $10 million. Oh, wow. And so it was just this.
What's it? Sorry, do they have any idea what's going on?
Kind of.
Okay.
So they get, these are great questions, by the way. Yeah. They get called from their hotel at 2:30 in the morning and say, hey, Jeff's in the finale, top 3. Like, we want you to come here. And they put them in a room and say, hey, 2 things are going to happen. 1, we'll bring him to you because he got eliminated. Or 2, we'll bring you guys to him because he won.
Wow.
And my wife is amazing. And like, she told me from the get, because like when I was leaving, I remember I gave her a hug. I'm like, hey, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna tell Lucas a story. And she goes, no, 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 no. If you're going to leave,
You're going to win.
You're going to win this thing.
I like her.
Yeah, oh, you would love her, and she would love you. And so she had this certainty about me too, which was neat. And what happened, because the game went so quickly, they thought that it was just the game was starting. And then someone came into the green room and said, "Are you ready to come with me?" Wow. And that's when they knew. And we're walking out, and my oldest son, Jack, goes, "Wait, why is there $10 million and not 5? And then Jack said something great. He's like, "Dad, how are we going to get all this money home?" Because it was real U.S. dollars. They had real 10 million of U.S. dollar.
That's very funny.
Really?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and like, I mean, there was security guards all over. But like, yeah, Mr. Beast goes big.
That's right. So, what did you feel in that moment?
I remember when I saw my wife, and I felt out of this body. You know, like I couldn't. I finally let myself kind of feel it. And I've always had hope for my son. I've always had hope that he's here for a reason, but also we can help kids like him.
How many children are there in the world that have this?
There's about 400 diagnosed in the world with this condition.
It's rare.
Yeah, it's super rare. And I mean, we've known about it for 25 years, but there's no therapies, no treatments, no cures yet. And so, like,
Is there research?
A ton of research, and like more researchers are now inspired because of this, which is like
Amazing.
It's amazing. Like, it's just, when I look back and know that my ultimate aim was to tell his story, and now I'm sitting here with you two. Like, I've talked to Good Morning America. I've been on Squawk Box. Like, I've done some pretty cool stuff. I was nervous for this, by the way. And I'll tell you this. So one of my good friends from the games, I told him about this, and he goes, wait, Michael Berg? You mean the Michael Berg you always send me videos of? Like, you get to sit down with him? He was like fanboying, which was really sweet.
I love
Very
that.
funny. That's very funny.
By the way, he and I have done the 30 days of the Zohar together.
Amazing.
So it's like the Zohar is being spread through Beast Games in more ways than one.
Very cool. Very cool.
It's interesting. What I love so much about what you've said, but what I love about your perspective is so often parents who have a child, I don't like the word disability, but with a difference, they want to find a cure or help them because they think they're in pain or somehow we're saving them. But truly, we understand they're saving us, right? And they're saving others. It's like, Lucas is so special and important. It's not that he needs saving. His purpose is so obvious and clear, and you're taking that to another level.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes I kind of struggle with it, like, because I feel like I should be fighting for him more versus trying to help his story. Because I know he is good. Like I know his soul chose this body. I know his soul chose us as parents. But it's his mission, his vision, or his goal in life is I feel way bigger than mine. And it's up to me to help tell his story and my wife. And it's, he's just a special kid. He really is.
Yeah, it resonates deeply with us. Just reminds me of leading up to Rosh Hashanah. There's a lot of moving parts. There's pressure. There's a lot to do. There's a little stress. And I was working downstairs, not even in my office. I just needed to like change rooms. And Josh and I were together a lot. And he would just start dancing, or everything was like a party all the time, right? And I don't always, he has school and we're passing through it. We're all busy. But for this week leading up to Rosh Hashanah, it was such a blessing just to be like in his orbit, like orbit around him, right? Everything was just like fun. It was great. There's no, we're the problem, it was really something profound to experience like that. And every now and again, when I was deep in thought and I was just like, okay, I'm exhausted, I would look at him and it would just be like, he was even on a Zoom call with some counselors from his camp, and they're asking him and other children different things about how they feel and this and that. And then, because I could hear the speaker, and then he turns to the counselor, he's like, but I want to ask you the question. What's your answer about it? How do you feel? And it's like, that's everything, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Lucas just always reminds me to be here.
Exactly.
Because he couldn't tell me what he had for dinner last night. He's not worried about what's going to happen tomorrow. He wants to be here. And the moments where we have our routines, he's very routined. But like bedtime for one, the littlest things we do bring us both so much joy. I wish I would have brought the videos, but I got those like Meta glasses that have the video on it. So like, because I wanted people to be able to see what I see when I'm so close to them. And it's, I'll send you guys a video.
Please do.
But it is like, it's just so heartwarming the amount of joy he has and also shares.
How old is he now?
He's 8.
Hey.
Yeah.
So it's been a year since you won the $10 million. What were things that happened that were very positive, effective it, and what were some challenges that came with it?
To add to that, I always wonder, people say, oh, we won this money. Everybody's like, wow, what would I do with $10 million? And a lot of people have talked about it being stressful. Like people come out of the woodworks to say like, hey, you remember me, from 5 years ago?
I mean, I think the good news is people who know me know my story and know Lucas's story. So if you're asking me for like financial support and you know my story, I probably don't know you very well. Perfect strangers on the internet ask for everything. Oh, I mean, I've gotten emails
Really?
that's like this, gentleman in Georgia, I need $250,000 for a pickup truck in this company. Here's my ACH number.
Doesn't even know you.
Doesn't even know me, but it's entertaining. But I'd say for the most part, family, friends have been amazing. Life hasn't changed a ton. I still drive a Honda Odyssey minivan. We still live in the same home. Our ultimate aim is to try to find a treatment for Lucas. So a lot of our funds are directed towards research and earmarked towards ultimately like a clinical trial. But yeah, it's a lot less stressful. Certainly we're going to make sure that Jack doesn't have to be Lucas's caregiver as he ages. So there's a lot of things we do to make sure that life is taken care of. And there's certainly challenges. There's been challenges in friendships and family, just misaligning expectations. But it's also good for me to work through. Like usually with these challenges, I just go, whatever, like let me just get it out of the way and move on. But for me to actually sit in them and see kind of how I could improve on it has been eye-opening for me. So like people always say more money, more problems. I can say yes, or yes and a lot more peace of mind for sure.
Has it changed your relationship at all with your wife?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's definitely peace of mind for my wife is, I'm the spontaneous one in the relationship.
What sign are you?
I'm Gemini.
And your wife?
She was one Nissan. So Aries. But Gregorian, she's a Pisces. So she's a little bit of both. But she's like so organized. Like I didn't tell her I didn't tell her I applied to Beast Games until I got in, because I knew she would start planning schedules of who's driving who or what needs to be done when I'm gone. But our relationship, we just removed one big blocker. That is, how can we make sure Lucas is cared for when mom and dad eventually go away? Because that's the thing that always kept us up. And this just allows us to have a different plan. So a ton of peace of mind, but for the most part, like a lot hasn't changed.
On the research side, what have you seen? Has anything significantly moved in the past year?
Yeah, and one story I'll share is I got really close with this researcher at Stanford. This young, he's in his early 20s, and him and I just started having coffee every month.
Who specifically researches this?
Yeah, researches this. So all over the world, there's probably like 8 to 10 academic institutions that have been researching this for about a decade. Now they actually have a little bit more money to do it, which is nice. But this one young researcher, him and I got close, and he was going to go to get his MD, PhD, put it on hold because he was so attached to the story, and then got inspired through Beast Games, and he's a young guy, so he knew Mr. Beast forever. He cold emailed one of the top medicinal chemists in the world who was at Stanford and said, hey, I was reading one of your old papers. I think you might be able to help with this. Fast forward 6 weeks. Now the medicinal chemist is now inspired by it and working on this project.
Wow.
So it's, I don't know where we shared this. I don't know if it was yesterday or maybe I read it in Rosh Hashanah Prep, but like the impact of what you can do to inspire others to do good. And that's what's, I think, been so beautiful is these researchers have so much energy now for it. And they're really excited to try to be a part of the story.
So after using the tools and seeing the miracles in it, how has that changed for you now? Are you even more hungry? Are you less hungry? Do you have to fight more for the connection? Has it changed the way you show up for yourself spiritually every day?
Yeah, I'm probably harder on myself because I know the tools work. I mean, I lived it. So I'm like, because even walking here, I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't prepare enough for Rosh Hashanah. Like, I'm sure no one else has that feeling, right? So a little bit of that. But I have so much, like, and I've shared this before, but I have to share it here. I mean, like, I walk around and some people are like, wait, who is this guy? Like, why are you talking to all the kids? The kids obviously have watched Beast Games, so they come up and we catch up. And the common question I get from the children, and this is all over, is they ask, how is Lucas? So they come up to me and they don't say, hey, oh my gosh, you met Mr. Beast. How much money does he have? They say, have you found a cure? And like for me, it's like seeing the ultimate precept live out in real life. Like they're loving Lucas and they don't even know him. And so we're going to find a treatment. I don't know how long it's going to take. Our family has this beautiful foundation to take care of itself. But there's this really neat opportunity that we inspired some young children to love their neighbor and to look out for people who are different than them. And I think that's like one of the biggest gifts I've seen.
And now I was going to ask, have you heard from people who you've inspired spiritually as well? Yeah, I mean,
Well, his friend that loves you.
Yes,
my friend for sure. He's gonna be so glad. Like when he watches this.
What's his name?
His name's Patrick.
Patrick. Hope to see you soon, Patrick.
Hysterical. I love it. I think one thing that's really unique is there was this behind the scenes on episode 10 where I was talking to one of the behind the scenes videographers who I got close to, and I felt like I'd known him for years, but it was only 2 weeks. And we were talking. He's like, "Have you prayed a lot?" I'm like, "I prayed more than I ever have." I mean, I said a prayer this morning that I think you probably said because I heard him talking. I knew he was Jewish. I said the Shema earlier. I got a barrage of people in my inbox, and I had some amazing connections. I meet people and they say, "Hey, I know you're not Jewish, but your sharing that meant so much to our community." And just for someone to be able to share their faith openly. And I feel like things are changing. I definitely feel like it just even Ruth and Yael shared it. Like things are changing, but like even to see more people spiritually hungry is a blessing. And for someone like me, who I still feel like sometimes I'm like, I don't want to say a fish out of water here, but like I have a lot to learn. I sometimes feel like, am I doing the blessing right? Like, I had a merit of carrying the Torah today, and it's like I don't want to mess up. I want to do it the right way for everybody here. But that being said, like people ask me, like what do you study? What does it mean? What is the Zohar? And it's like I would say a couple years ago, I wasn't totally confident to share because I was still trying to figure it out. But for me, it's I share that, the simplest way to look at it is I'm trying to become less selfish. I'm trying to align myself more with the Creator. The Creator only shares. So how do I transform my desire to receive for the self alone to the desire to receive for the sake of sharing? And then I kind of walk them through if they ask, like, yeah, your desire to receive to receive, desire to share for the sake of receiving, desire to share for the sake of sharing, and ultimately getting to the place where the ultimate aim is to cleave, to have Devkut. And I remember writing that word on my whiteboard 3 years ago, and I'm like, I didn't even know why. So for me, I used to be a little bit more apprehensive to share my faith, and that I have a desire to get to know God better. But now, like, I've kind of told the world about it. So I will talk to anybody about it. And what I've noticed is that more and more people are excited to reconnect with God.
Beautiful.
So inspiring. We're all exactly in the same boat. We never feel like we know enough. We never feel like we understand enough. And I think your purity of heart and your simplicity in the best sense of that word is really beyond inspiring. I have a few.
I know you have a number of questions, but before that, and I don't know if you feel comfortable sharing this, but I do think it's sometimes helpful. If you had to say spiritually, I was going to say your biggest challenge looking forward, or a challenge that you're focused on transformation. Is there something that you can share with us
Individually or?
No, personally.
Yeah.
Personally.
Will you answer it too?
But, no,
yes. Oh, yes.
Okay, I'll answer too.
Exactly.
I'm looking out for you,
There
Monica.
you go. You got my back.
I think for me is I really kind of pressure test. Am I truly in these games for the desire to receive for the sake of sharing? And so for me is to make sure that always stays, I stay a good steward of the light. You know, I obviously I received $10 million, but I received more than that too. And I can't just take my ball and go home. So I think for me is just making sure that I continue to surround myself by great people who want to share the light. And that I stay connected to the center and to people who can help me do that.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Michael?
So what I'm going to ask. So, Monica loves when I share personally. So thank you, Jeff,
You have to go really, really deep.
Really deep.
Yeah.
Yes, let's make this. It was funny. I on one of the rides today, as we were going outside, you know, my thing, and I've shared this before, but my selfish spiritual desire is always to study on my own, to do my own spiritual work, and it doesn't come naturally to want to be with thousands of people for Rosh Hashanah. And I always have in different and other situations. So if I had to say one of my biggest, I don't know if the word is challenge, but one of the biggest places that I want to continue to push myself is really that desire, but really being around more and more and more and more people. So is that personal enough? Yeah.
Okay, so now rapid fire spiritual questions.
Okay.
What's a spiritual practice you can't live without?
Yeah, I'd say praying with my 9-year-old son, and actually, I mean praying with both boys.
Do they actually use the tools in the Zohar?
Yeah, I mean,
dialing God?
you should see my 9-year-old do the Shema.
Really?
It's so sweet. I mean, covers his eyes. I mean, obviously we don't do the entire prayer, but he'll sing it. I'll have a recording. I'll send it to you.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay. A piece of wisdom from your child that changed, or both your children, that changed how you see the world.
I guess I'll get personal again.
We like when you get.
Yeah. So Lucas can be, it's challenging sometimes to understand. And I remember this is within the last year, Jack came up to me later that night and he said, and granted, Jack is 9. He said, "Hey, Dad, when your voice kind of goes that way, I don't think it's working for Lucas. Like, maybe you could say this
it's
instead."
Not helpful.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, I need to receive this feedback. And it's 2 days later, Lucas had something similar and I responded differently. And when I was giving Lucas a bath, Jack peeks in his head and he goes, "Hey, Dad, that was good. Nice job." And so I think for me, just to be able to take, I mean, obviously, a lot of people say, "Hey, we're not here to teach our kids. They're here to teach us." And I've taken that to heart. I learned that early on. And so I try to keep an open mind and open heart that, hey, they can teach me some stuff.
Yeah, I have older kids in the room. It's both ways.
Yes, exactly.
The biggest misconception people have about winning something so big.
Is that everything changes.
For better?
Yeah, for the better. And I mean, I have a modicum of like fame that's maybe expired. I mean, this might help boost it a little bit, but it's like nothing. I don't want to say nobody cares, but life goes on, you know? So it's like, I can't get too attached to that story. You know, it's a part of my story. It's real, but then what's next and what can I do?
Love that. A book, prayer, or quote that grounds you.
It's simple. I mean, this is also for the best is the absolute statement that transformed my life.
That's beautiful. Do you want to unpack that?
Well, so it's from Nachum Ish Gamzu, right? As you mentioned before, and because there's two ways. Well, there's three ways to see life. One is this is bad, not the spiritual view. The other one, this isn't great, but good will come from it. The ultimate state of consciousness is when you say, no, this is actually good now.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it doesn't look like it.
Well, that's the point. The point is to actually be able to experience everything happening as good, right? So Nachum Ish Gamzu, which was when he said Gamzu letovah, this is also for the best. He experienced life in that way. So other people might be looking at him and he's going through one thing or the other. He is only experiencing the goodness now, as opposed to, you know, eventually this will be good, or experiencing it as bad. And this is really the ultimate purpose of our spiritual work. When you're in the state of dvekut, the state of complete unification with the light of the Creator, then everything you experience in the moment is only good. And that's really, you know, why we're here.
And it's like Psalms 34. It's taste and see that God is good. Like that's experience it, not just think it or believe it. Like see it. And then I think Lucas, the gift of, again, looking back at all these things that I thought were challenges at the time. Like I probably was in the second stage at the time. Yeah. When I look back now, that's when I'm able to kind of go, this is also for the best, because I've felt it, I've tasted it, I've seen it. So don't get me wrong, I still struggle with it, but yeah, that for sure, that saying is my grounding one.
Yeah, and I think that's again one of my favorite quotes. Rav Ashlag speaks about that often, and it's important for all of our friends here, all of our friends who are going to be listening to this later, right? That the way to know that you're truly on a spiritual path that's right is if you're tasting, you're experiencing the transformation, right? There are other paths that say, oh, it will be one way or the other, but you know, when we die, it'll all make sense. The Kabbalistic path says, no, there are things that we can do here and transform in ways and connect in ways so that we can taste the goodness all the time, which is, you know, very important.
One word that describes what your soul is craving right now. I'm sorry, that's a hard one.
No, Allah. I mean, it's cliche, but connection, and that's what's coming to me.
Well, that's everything. If your journey had a title, what would it be?
The beauty in the bumps.
I like that.
Nice.
I need to trademark that before you take it. I can see that being one of your books.
But I do want to say,
it's true.
I'll be a co-author.
Okay, let's do it.
I thought you were going to say something else, just from what you also mentioned in the video, that the concept.
Made a lot of promises tonight. I'm just saying.
I know.
Okay.
Oh no.
No matter what, and something that whenever I speak about my parents, there are people who desire a spiritual life. There are people who commit to it, but then challenges, good things, take them off of it. And what I learned from my parents is that real spiritual life is when you're committed no matter what. And I have to say, again, I was really inspired when I heard in the video that we showed earlier. But I think for all of us, right, we should ask ourselves that question. Is my commitment to the light of the Creator, is my commitment to the spiritual path in the state of no matter what? And if not, how do I get it there? Because the blessings that we receive are commensurate with our commitment. And if the commitment is, yeah, I'll do it when everything is good or when there aren't challenges, then the amount of light and blessings we can receive will be limited. But when our commitment is no matter what, then the blessings that we receive can really be endless.
I just want to add too, I think often people go through their lives and they say, okay, this thing was beautiful. This other part I'd kind of erase. This other thing I really enjoyed and I felt such connection. But the other part, you know, that didn't really work. What people don't realize is that it's all of those things that you didn't want to happen that allow you to experience the most profound things that you can. And so your ability to connect as you have to the Creator, to the teachings, to the wisdom, and to really, really desire more and be spiritually hungry for that is not just because you found the wisdom and you refound it. You've probably found it in many lifetimes. It's that all these other things have happened to you, and it shows you what's real and what's not real. It shows you that life is a mix of good and bad, and what we think is bad is good, and what we think is good not necessarily is. And it allows you to really be all in and experience, taste, cleave to the Creator in a way that you really possibly, you could not if you didn't have Lucas. I believe that. I know if I'm speaking for myself, I could not. I would not be able to do the things I have done if I hadn't had Josh, no doubt.
Yeah.
And not everybody needs to have those kinds of openings for that, but I think it's important to understand that it's something that we need to awaken inside of us, to awaken that appreciation, to awaken that connection, to go after it. And whatever drives that hunger, I don't know what that is for each person. This is what it was for us in our own way.
This is a conversation I've had with friends, because like I have a strong why, you know, like Joshua and Lucas, they immediately change our life, and we are able to look back and go, wow, for the absolute best. For someone who doesn't have that type of challenge, like how do they do it when things are flowing?
It's to constantly understand that that's all a gift, but that's not the purpose. The purpose is really to awaken that connection within. And we don't need something difficult to happen, but we certainly have to understand what our purpose is. It's to ask in every day, what is my why? What's my why for showing up? What's my why for living? What's my why for existing? And everybody will come to a different answer, but we have to ask the question. We were forced to ask the question because things didn't make sense. It was, why did this happen like this? Why did I have it? You know, all the whys in a different kind of way led us to a place of understanding and of truth. For people who don't have a situation that makes them ask the question, you still have to ask the why for yourself. I think we're all called to do that. Well, Mikhail said earlier today that we should spend every hour of this 48-hour window in connection, in a sense of purpose, in creating this kind of opening for the new year. I couldn't have imagined a better way to continue on in that vein of doing so without having you tonight. So we really appreciate you sharing your heart, your love, your experience, your wisdom, and for being with us. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.